Okay, and a welcome to all 39 of us, and I think the number will perhaps go up this afternoon UK time on the 22nd of November. And we have our title on the screen there from our speaker, Kamil Stobiecki from the University of Manchester. And I'm very happy to hand over to you, Kamil, now to tell us about finding the right balance between ESAP and EGAP and a school-based approach. So thank you very much indeed. Kamil, are you okay to share your screen?
Yes. Thank you for this, for the introduction. So my name is Kamil Stobiecki. I'm a senior language tutor here at the University Centre for Academic English at the University of Manchester. My current role is to coordinate our in-sessional provision called Academic Success Program, focusing on the Faculty of Humanities. I will share my screen to show you the slides. Just waiting for it to come up.
That's great, Kamil. I've got that nice
Yes,
and
you can
clear.
see it.
Super.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the feedback. And just gonna go full screen. Can you see it all right?
Spot on. Yes, I've got your next slide as well, which is absolutely fine, of course, but the current slide is visible indeed. So I think
I will
we're
maybe
all good.
change then to the second screen so you can see.
That's just got the one slide, so I think that's probably optimum. Yeah, spot
that's
on.
better. Thank you.
Spot
Thanks
on.
a lot.
Not
All right, so finding the right balance between ESAP and EGAP, our school-based approach. So this is my outline, and these are the items I'm going to cover in this talk. My talk will be followed by an opportunity for attendees to discuss, and I think this part is as important, if not more important, than my presentation, as I'm very much interested in approaches at other places. The University of Manchester context is the first thing that I will cover, because I think it's important to position this approach within a context, and I think that will justify a lot of the choices we've had to make. I will also mention my different experiences of trying to deliver more specific English for academic purposes courses. This will be followed by Academic Success Program Open, the provision at the University of Manchester. So basically what this provision is, and then how we are changing this provision into this school-based approach, from faculty-based to more specific school-based approach. And then finally I will show you some examples of course outlines and materials. And then, as I have already said, there will be a chance to discuss and compare. So the University of Manchester context, I've looked at our website just to get the numbers, and the bottom line here is that we are a very large university, one of the biggest in the country, with over 44,000 students from 190 countries. So a lot of different nationalities and a lot of students. Our academic skills support at the University of Manchester is provided by our centre, as well as My Learning Essentials, our colleagues from the library. Their provision is mainly asynchronous, whereas ours is mainly synchronous. That doesn't mean that we don't offer asynchronous content, as we offer some as well. Now, UCA is situated within the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures, whereas As I said, My Learning Essentials are part of the library, and our remit is really to focus mainly, but not only, on the international students from the 3 faculties at the University of Manchester to provide academic English and skills support. Now, moving on to the contrasting ESAP experiences. So I'm fortunate to have worked here for over 10 years. And during that time, I've experienced a lot of English for general academic purposes, but I also had an opportunity to try some more specific courses. One of the first memories is a pre-sessional course, a 10-week pre-sessional developed for the students of management of projects. From the School of Mechanical, Aerospace and Civil Engineering. So this is the acronym that you can see. The content included key written assessment development the assessments were developed with academics. They also delivered lectures, and I've noticed significant benefits of that with comparison with the more EGAP pre-sessional offered to the rest of the university, other students. I've noticed that students were more motivated because they were studying the language and terminology and concepts that later were useful for their future studies. Community building, some of the students, because students were already studying together on this pre-sessional course with students with whom they will be continuing on the main program. So they started developing their relationships, friendships, and continued, I believe, to study together afterwards. There was also a lot of tutor satisfaction because on some other pre-sessional courses, tutors were often asked to help students with the written assessment in ways like evaluating sources, recommending or helping to come up with titles, whereas on that course they didn't have to do it. This was provided for the students by their school. Now, so this was a very positive experience and made me think that the more ESAP, the better. The more specific our provision is, the better. Now, 2 years ago, we also developed a course for the students of Masters in Economics. So this is the second experience. And we spent quite a lot of time working with academics from the school. We collected student scripts. There was lecture feedback on those scripts, so we knew which extracts are the good examples and which in which there is some room for improvement. We received slides introducing that task, which was a dissertation proposal. We liaised about the timetable to identify gaps where students didn't have any core modules or not even optional modules, and we positioned it in the final week of the delivery, so it wasn't outside of like in some time after the exams, but it was during when their main course was running during the same time. We had a few meetings with academics to talk about the promotion. They helped us by mentioning this course in their lectures. We had a prominent position on their Blackboard side, the virtual learning environment. We sent reminders to students. And of course, there are some benefits of that. So increased students' confidence in writing a dissertation. That's the feedback that we received, was very positive. And I think also what was important is that by working together with different people from the school, academics and PS support, we developed relationships with them. So there is like this long-term benefit of writing this course. Now, unfortunately, there were some challenges, and The biggest one was very low attendance. So we spent quite a lot of time developing materials, looking at all of the input we've received, talking to academics. We tried to promote them. We tried to arrange to make sure that students are in the right classroom. So administratively, there was quite a it was quite a substantial effort. And what happened is that in the first year when we ran it, in the first session, we only had 12 students attending the first session. And in the second year, when we ran it, when we tried to move it to a different time, we only had 7 students in the first meeting. So all this effort translated into us being able to provide good support, but to a very limited number of students. Once again, going back to my initial information about our context, we are a very large university. So I think it's important that we take this into account and that we try to help as many students as we can with the resources that we have. So in that case, I think it wasn't the greatest story because we only helped very few students. Now, moving on to the third part, so a bit more information about how we deliver that academic success program. So our in-sessional provision is broadly divided into the more general, we call it open, and more specific, where courses like the one I mentioned here would be included in the more specific, we call it bespoke academic success program provision. But I will be focusing mainly on the open one, the more general, and how we are trying to make it more specific. So these courses are free of charge. They are non-credited. There are no assessments. They are offered from September to June, and typically in blocks of 4 sessions, lasting either 60 or 90 minutes. In term 1, now we've delivered 2 blocks, so 4 plus 4 weeks of delivery. And then the blocks are often repeated later in the year, but we try to make changes to tie in with the academic cycle, the academic year. So for example, this term we offered adjusting to academic life, whereas in term 2 and 3 we'll be offering writing your dissertation as students are getting closer, and the postgraduate students are getting closer to writing their dissertations. In terms of the skills that we focus on academic speaking, seminars, presentations, pronunciation, other communication around the university, academic writing, criticality, academic grammar, and we also offer standalone workshops, as we call them, so one-off, unlike the rest in blocks of 4. And again, I wanted to reiterate that we do offer bespoke and more subject-specific courses, including, for instance, a credit bearing module that is fully embedded and for the students of MA in linguistics.